Hey, how's it going everyone? Sinful Duck here, and welcome to Grim Dawn. I want to take you guys through a very quick review today of this game and tell you a little bit about it and what I think, and I guess to let the secret out a little bit here, why I think if you're an ARPG fan, you should be playing this game. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. As soon as you start this game up, the first thing you're going to notice is going to be the graphics. The graphics in this game are really top notch, and this game was developed by an indie studio. It's a very small studio, but this small team has put a lot of effort and passion into this project, and you can definitely tell in the quality of the environments that they've created here. The level of detail is so good. And right off the bat, as soon as you enter the game, you just get drawn into this world so quickly. As the title of the game suggests, there's a very grim atmosphere, very dark and dreary type of world that they've gone for, and they've pulled it off so nicely. But that's not the only type of environment that you get in this game. There's such a wide variety. Everything from your dark and gloomy dungeons to your bright green open fields. The environments in this game will definitely take you on a really fantastic visual journey. Now I want to dive into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty of the graphics for this game, and we're going to start off by talking about the UI. Now the UI for this game I really like. It's very minimal, it's very clean, easy to understand. When you're just roaming around the environment, playing the game, the UI allows you to just focus on the game, and it helps you to get immersed into this world even more. So the UI I really enjoy because of its minimal features. Let's move on now to the actual character. There's a few different things in this game that apply to the graphics of the character. One of them being auras that you gain from certain buffs. The auras are very easy to see, they look good, you know when your buffs are on, and that's the most important thing. Is when you're playing this game, you want to be able to just glance, see that your buffs are on, and you can certainly do that with Grim Dawn. Secondly is the spell effects. Now, I haven't played all the classes, all the combinations, but spell effects, in my opinion, some of them are good. Some of them are good, but a lot of the spell effects are a little bit lacking in terms of their visual flair. We know that the creators of this game have the ability to make fantastic graphics, so I'm not quite sure why they didn't incorporate more of that into the spell effects for this game, but for a lot of the spell effects, they lack flair, but they still get the job done. Is it going to be the most visually stunning, knock you out of your seat kind of spell effects? No, it's not. But they work. They're easy to see, you know when your spells are working, and at the end of the day, you're still having fun with the game. It still looks good, it still works well. Everything is very smooth in this game. All the spell effects, the graphics, everything works very well together and creates a great immersive experience. Speaking of an immersive experience, let's talk a little bit about the story to this game.
So, another monster has been banished from this world. You're beginning to give me hope that someday there will be an end to all this tragedy.
So I don't want to give you guys any spoilers, I'm not going to actually explain the story, but I do want to tell you that this game does have a very good storyline. It starts you off with the opening cinematic, which is very exciting, and I really enjoyed it. The opening cinematic really does a good job of setting the stage, drawing you in, and making you invested in what's going to happen to these characters. They do a pretty good job over time of developing a couple of characters, But the one downside that this game does have is the fact that it's such a massive game that it takes you a long time to get through it. And because of how long it takes to get through this huge game, sometimes the story can stretch out a bit. There's a little bit too long of a gap between story elements. There are a lot of little fun storylines throughout the game. Things you'll run into in different dungeons or in different little villages throughout the world. But as far as the main story, if it's something you're interested in, you might have to kind of go back a little bit and remind yourself of some of the lore that you've picked up. But the story is very, very good. Now we're going to dive into sort of the meat and potatoes of a game like this, which is your character build. Why do we play games like this? We play games like this because we want to create a character, we want to build them up, we want to make them as powerful as we can, with as many options as we can have, and kill as many monsters as we can find. This game delivers that amazingly, absolutely amazingly. I like the way that the character building system is set up in this game so much. They break it down into a few different areas. So first of all, as you start the game, you're not going to have a class. You play through the first few levels and then it's going to unlock your first class. So you get to choose your class. Who do you want to be? What type of character do you want to play? So you choose that. Then you play through some more of the game and you start progressing those skills. And once you hit level 10, then you get to choose a second class to pair with that. So now you have even more options in terms of how you want to build your character, more skills, more passives, just more choices. Once you finally wrap your head around all the choices that you have through these different talent trees for the two classes you get to choose, then you get introduced to the devotion tree. The devotion tree is massive. It is absolutely massive. Think of it like the passive skill tree in Path of Exile. It's huge, but the difference in, at least for me, the difference in this is that the devotions in Grim Dawn, they're not just passives. They have a purpose. So these passives, you're going to choose passives that are going to increase your defenses or increase your damage or something along those lines, but you might also just choose some of them because they lead to certain skills. Some of them will be defensive skills like damage absorption. Some of them are going to be offensive skills like arcane bombs or aether fire, where you can drop little pools of fire on the ground as you attack people, and it's just free passive damage that you get, but it does it in a very interesting and unique way. Instead of just increasing the damage of your skills, you get something extra to work towards, and another extra little visual thing to add to the game as you're playing it. So the devotion tree in this game, really fun to dive into, and just adds a huge level of customization in terms of how you can create builds for your characters. The next major thing on the list for character building has got to be items, because what action RPG is any good without items? And Grim Dawn has a ton of them. The fun thing with the items in this game, though, is that they're not just stat boosters. Grim Dawn takes it a step further. Not only do you get stat boosts, not only can your items also increase the power of your skills, but a lot of the items will actually grant you new skills. You can get anything from castable skills to passive procs to defensive procs. There's so many different things you can get on the items, and a lot of times getting specific items can create new builds for you by augmenting the power or augmenting the way that a specific skill works. There's also a crafting system in the game. As long as you've learned a blueprint, you go to the crafters and you can make it. each crafter is actually going to give you a different bonus. So depending on which blacksmith you go to, he's going to have a little bit different bonus that he can give you in terms of stats that can roll on your gear. Some will give you a little bit of damage, some will give you health, some will give you resist boosts. Each one gives you something different, so make sure that you are aware of which one you're going to, but it's just another extra little thing to add to the game to help set it apart from other games. So now you've got your items, you got your drops, you've crafted some gear, but it's all mismatched, it doesn't look good together. Well, there's transmogging in this game. You can go to the illusionist and you can change the look of every single item that your character is wearing. Anything that your character has on that's visible, you can go ahead and change the appearance to anything that you have previously looted. As long as it's an item that you've seen in the game, you can wear it. That's going to wrap up my review today for Grim Dawn, but hopefully I've given you guys some information to think about. This is such an amazing little hidden gem in the ARPG market that a lot of people don't really know about. It just flies under the radar, but it's put out there by an indie developer and it's incredible and it's very affordable. It's not a full-priced AAA title, but it looks and plays like a full-priced AAA title. So go check out Grim Dawn. I highly recommend it. Hopefully this review gave you some good information. If there's any other details of the game that you're interested in, there's tons of other more in-depth reviews around on YouTube here, so check some of those out. Leave some comments down below if you guys play this game, if you enjoy it, if you have any other thoughts that you want to share with people about the game. And yeah, that's all I have for today, so thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. And until next time, guys, take care.